Hello?
Hello.
Yes.
I want to talk about the word you said. It doesn't say marriage.
Hmm.
You're thinking that there's only one word for marriage.
Hmm.
Is that correct?
What is the word for marriage according to you?
Well, the usual word is zawaj.
Zawaj. Thank you very much. So
Okay. In this,
what is the other word?
we can go to a verse in the Quran.
Hmm.
To,
Yeah, but
to
here the hadith before we go there. Where
no,
in
no,
the hadith
to
here?
understand
Where in this hadith here speak about marriage? Can you show me the word marriage?
to understand the word that is used in
No
this
problem,
hadith.
but it's not used. I don't see a word, any word. You know, it
No,
says
you
tawafaqa,
have to know
fa
how the word is used.
Okay, what is the word here is used? Which one? Which one you want to talk about? Point your finger, please.
The ishra.
Ashra. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Hmm.
Go to Quran,
Uh-huh.
Surah 4, verses 19.
All
The
right.
same word is used, and in that verse it means marriage. Marry them.
All right. Well,
Go.
let us see what the Quran says, and this word is, you know, okay.
وَعَاشِرُهُنَّ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ.
Hmm.
It means marry them.
عاشرهن بالمعروف. No, ashara. No,
Yes.
treat them. Ashara is a treatment
Yes,
or
and this is
deal with
to
them.
live with them, to
Yeah, but
marry them.
okay,
This is
hold on. But where is the word
in
marriage?
marriage.
You said this is a word mean marriage, but what you just gave me, it's not true. It's not. It doesn't say marry them. It says deal with them. You
Live
know,
with them. That's
deal
in
with them.
marriage.
Yeah, ashiruhum or live with them. Correct.
Yes.
Okay. Where is the word marriage there?
That's the meaning. Live with them in marriage.
My friend, here we go.
That's
Let us go chapter 4 verse number 19, the word ashiruhunna, and I will show you. Hold on, please.
Look. If you don't think it means marriage,
Show me where is the word marriage there.
why
This is your
does it not
translation, my
say-
friend. Show me the word.
Look.
Oh, look.
Listen.
Show me where is the word marriage. This is your Islamic translation. Show me where is the word marriage.
I'm teaching you.
Okay, show me. Here we go.
I'm teaching you basic understanding.
Mm.
If you think it does not mean marriage, then in the hadith it would have only said go and have sex with them for only 1 hour. That's not what it's saying. It says live with them. What does living mean with a woman? Living means in marriage, a relationship. That's the meaning.
First of all, it doesn't say leave them. And here we go. This is your Islamic translation. It says treat them. So Ishra in Arabic is about sharing with them the bed and sharing with them the house. Now, you're a prophet, he hang up, coward. You're a prophet, he did not say go and marry them. And why you hang up, by the way? Why you hang up? Explain to us why you're a prophet saying, let us say this is marriage. Let us say this is marriage. You coward. You see, he ran away. If this is marriage, what kind of marriage is it 3 days and 3 nights? Explain to us. If this is marriage, as you claim, the word marriage does not exist there. The verse you show me, the word mu'ashara is about you associate with somebody, and it's about sexual association. There's no word marriage there. The verse you quote for me, proving you to be a false person, because here we go. This is your verse you are quoting for me. It doesn't say that. This is your translation. Let us go there. This is your translation. Translation is called coming as a treat them or deal with them or do things with them. There's no marriage. You're a big fat liar. If we change all the translation, you see, this is Yusuf Ali. I will take Shakir just to show you how Muslims they try always to manipulate things and to lie to us. They think we do not know. Read with me. Do you see the word here? Marriage. Where is the word marriage? In the whole. Here the translation is coming as a treat them. Muhammad, he said, treat them kindly in the Quran as long they are your slaves and they are obedient. The second you feel that they are not kind to you or they are not the way you want them to be, obedience, then you beat them. Chapter 4 verse number 34. So you are a liar and you could not prove yourself. Not even one translation agree with you. We can go right now and see the dictionary. What about we go to dictionary? Are you willing to call me and show me the dictionary so we can laugh at you? We can go right now to the dictionary. This is Ishra. This is Ishra. All right. Let us see. We will put the word Ishra here. Let us go to the top so everybody will see. Life. Mu'ashara or Ishra is a sexual practice, action associating social intercourse. Do you see it? Mu'ashara Islamiyya, Mu'ashara in the dictionary of Islam. You see the word Islamiyya? Social intercourse. This is your Islamic dictionary. What is the marriage? Read with me carefully, guys. He is the one who choose the word. He is the one who elect the word. He is the one who mentioned the word, and he is the one supposedly he wanna get me busted. This is the word mu'ashara, and this is the meaning of it, and this is your Islamic dictionary. My friend, with my respect to you, you earned today a certification of being a certified donkey from a Christian prince. I'm happy for you. You can hang it in your bedroom, and your wife, she will be so proud about you because you expose Muhammad. Intimate social intercourse. Hello? And your wife, she will be so proud about you because you expose Muhammad. Please mute YouTube before you call me. Mute YouTube before you call me. Don't call me and YouTube is on. Mute YouTube before you call me. Do you see it, guys? Same time, the coward explain to us what kind of a prophet he says to you. Let us go with him with his lie that the prophet said marry them. The word marry is not exist there. The word is mu'ashara, and he is the one who said mu'ashara mean marriage. We go to the dictionary, as you see, mu'ashara in the Islamic dictionary, specifically in the Islamic dictionary, it's mean social intercourse. Social intercourse. What? I wonder how many people are laughing at you now. You became famous in YouTube. Look. Yeah, look. Here we go. We are looking. Why you don't call me back? I want you to expose the dictionary, your Islamic dictionary. Here we go. This is dictionary of Al-Ma'ani. Your Islamic website. I have nothing to do with it. Look. We are looking. Look. We are looking. Look. We are looking. You sound like a rooster when you call me. And now you are like a chicken who lost her feather. And this is why you don't dare to call me back. You remind me of Muhammad Hijab when he said to David Wood, answer me. Silence me. Show me. Don't you want to do that to me? Silence me. You see how much you are so, I mean, so smart. And all Muslims, by the way, they have the highest IQ in the world. Nobody is smart like the Abdul. I mean, you cannot beat Abdul in his intelligence. No way. Now we go back. Yes, Mr. Show me. Look.
I don't know how clear I can be. I said one of the meanings is to live. One of the meanings of
my friend. Here we go. This is the dictionary. This is the dictionary, and this is the meaning. Hold on. Don't tell me only. Show me where it says marriage. My friend, this is the dictionary. This is the dictionary. Show me the word marriage. Shut up. Show me the word. Show me the word marriage. Can you show the word marriage in the dictionary?
So not only does it mean,
you see, you're a potato, you don't answer. Show me the word marriage in the dictionary. This is a dictionary in front of you. Do you see it?
Does it not say have mu'ashara with your wives in the Quran?
What wife? What wife? It says you said that the word mu'ashara. You said the word mu'ashara. First of all, listen. The word mu'ashara is you said to me the word mu'ashara mean marriage. Everybody heard you.
In marriage.
Mu'ashara, no, you said mu'ashara is a word mean marriage. You are a potato. And I don't hear you, by the way. Your voice is gone. You know, go on the top of the table. Abdul, no, it doesn't say that. You are a big fat donkey. Here we go. This is just shut up. There's nowhere it says there that this is marriage. What a potato. And if it is a marriage, what kind of marriage you exchange good with the women for 3 days and 3 nights? This is nothing but prostitution. You are saying to me that the word mu'ashara mean marry them. Let us go with this lie. You marry a woman by paying her money for temporary period of time in exchange of sex. If this is marriage, what is a prostitution? Hello.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead. I'm fine, my friend, Mr. Muhammad.
I want to talk with you about the mut'a.
Okay.
Are you saying that the mut'a is not forbidden in Sunni Islam?
The Buddha is not forbidden in Sunni Islam. Was Muhammad a Sunni Muslim or he was Shia?
Is there a hadith that forbid mut'a or not?
My friend, is there hadith says that he allowed mut'a, yes or no?
The hadith that say that the mut'a is forbidden by the Prophet.
Okay, read with me carefully. Read with me in the screen, please.
Do you want me to show?
My friend, I will show you. I am showing you in the screen. I am showing you already. Look, read with me. Mut'a marriage was read with me, please. Mut'a marriage was permitted and then abrogated, then was permitted, then abrogated, then was permitted, then abrogated, until the day of resurrection. Now, why the Prophet he permitted and abrogated and then permitted and then abrogated and then forbidden until judgment of? Explain to us. Go ahead.
At the end of the day, did he forbid it or not?
My friend, no problem. But why he permitted and why he forbid it and then why he permitted again and then why he forbid it again, and what it's mean? Are you saying to me now your prophet is a better guy? He was a bad guy in the beginning. Are you saying to me that your prophet was teaching adultery and then Muhammad he became better person?
No, my friend.
So what happened?
No,
Why do you agree that mut'a? Do you agree that mut'a? Do you agree? Hold on. Do you agree that mut'a is adultery?
It is forbidden in Islam.
This is another question.
The Prophet himself,
do you agree? Before we continue, do you agree that mut'a is adultery?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, guys. This guy is an honest man. I like that. Mut'a is adultery. Why your prophet he permitted adultery? Go ahead.
It's like alcohol. The Prophet Muhammad, when before Islam, the alcohol is here like the mut'a and the adultery. It is here to remove it at one time. It is difficult. So he do it step by step, like alcohol. It is permitted.
My friend, this is a false interpretation. This is a false interpretation. As you see, hold on. As you see, the Muslim they were not doing it. The Muslims, hold on. The Muslim they were not doing it. To say to me step by step, this is stupid. Because as you see, they came to him asking him what we should do. We don't have women, we want to have sex. So he is the one hold on, he is the one who suggests the idea of hiring women temporarily for sex. It's not the Muslims. When you say to me step by step, it's mean they were practicing that, and Muhammad he let them do it until he forbid it. But this is not what happened. It was his idea. It was not the idea of the Abdul.
Can I speak or not?
Go ahead, I'm listening.
If the Prophet allow the mut'a, why at the end of the day he forbid it?
Because people start laughing at him. Because the Christian because the Christian and the Jews they start making fun of him. This guy is a false prophet. How he claimed to be a prophet and he allowed you see. Listen, there's no prophet. He will allow you are the one who said, hold on, you are the one who said that mut'a is adultery. I'm asking you, Direct question. Why he allow adultery? If it is adultery, did Musa allow adultery? Did Jesus allow adultery? Did Abraham allow adultery? Why Muhammad is the only one who allow you to do mut'a, adultery, and you are the one who agreed that this is adultery?
Muhammad is the only one who forbid at the end of the day.
False. How he can forbid? Hold on. We can show you tons of reference that the Muslims, after that, what Muslims they claim it's forbidden, they practice adultery still, and they practice mut'a still. That is a big fat lie. Secondly, when Muhammad he allow adultery, Muhammad allow adultery, is that the order of God or this is the order of Muhammad?
The order of Muhammad, he say it is forbidden in the.
This is another question. Listen carefully. This is the question. Listen. No. Listen. Listen. Hold on. We cannot shout in the same time. I will give you time to talk. The Quran is the one who ordered you to do mut'a. Was Allah making a mistake?
The teaching of Islam is step by step. You cannot force people at one day to remove
step by step. But what is step by step? Why you need to promote adultery as a step by step? You are the one who suggests to them adultery. The people are not doing it. Listen. Do you see the story in front of you? Do you see the story? The Muslim men, they came to him. They said, "What we will do?" He is the one who suggests to them to do adultery.
But why after that he said?
Because I told you why. Because everybody start laughing at him.
Show me where he said because
you tell me the reason then. Okay, hold on. Do you see here it says that it was permitted, then abrogated, then permitted, then abrogated? Yes. Okay, why he permitted first time and then abrogated second time and then he permitted again and he abrogated second time? Why?
Because at the first time it is before Islam we have the adultery. So to solve the problem, it's by step. The point is at the end of the day he forbidden it. If Islam is allowed mut'a, he will never forbidden it.
What does that mean?
That it means it's a solution to resolve a problem. You cannot resolve a problem in one day. You say to him, it is forbidden. That the people, they will never.
Okay, let me ask you. Let me ask you. Who is the one who forbade the mut'a?
The Prophet.
Show me the hadith.
Go to Muslim, the book 60.
Okay, what the hadith? Read the hadith for me.
There is 4 or 5 hadiths. I want to read it.
No problem. Show me where your prophet he forbade the mut'a. Go ahead. I'm listening.
The book 16, hadith 16. He say. Do you want me to read it in Arabic?
Go ahead.
حدثنا محمد بن بشار حدثنا محمد بن جعفر حدثنا شعبة عن عمرو بن دينار قال سمعت الحسن بن محمد يحدث عن جابر بن عبد الله وسلم بن الأكوع قال خرج علينا منادي رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم فقال إن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قد أذن لكم أن تستمتعوا No, it's another hadith.
Okay. I'm waiting. Do you want me to give you 10 hours to find the reference?
No. It is in front of me.
Okay.
Here, the hadith 22 in the book of Muslim, Sahih Muslim. The Prophet say, "من كان عنده شيء من هذه النساء التي يتمتع فليخلي سبيلها." This is one hadith. Another hadith.
But this hadith doesn't say he forbade the mut'a.
What he say?
Where it says okay, the one now, the one who is he's doing muta with the women, you know. Okay, hold on. But where he forbid the muta? I want to see it. Go ahead.
I will give you another.
You did not give me one yet.
I have another. It's long. I will give you just this sentence that forbid the muta. 3 مرار أو مرتين ثم استمتعت منها فلم أخرج حتى حرمها رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم.
Where is the hadith that says that Muhammad he did? It's a guy saying that the prophet he did. Where is the hadith that says that the prophet? My friend, here we go. Let me show you. This is Sahih Muslim. Let me show you. You Muslim, you do not know your religion, and you are very funny. Read with me. This is the chapter of the mut'a marriage. It was permitted, then abrogated, permitted, then abrogated, permitted, then abrogated. Okay, temporary. Jabir, Abdullah reported. We contracted, read with me. We contracted temporary marriage. Given, hold on. Let me show you. I'm reading for you. My friend, hold on. We contracted for you. This is Sahih Muslim, hadith number 1405D. Let me show it you on the screen. Here we go.
Go to hadith 25.
Okay, hold on. Read this. Hold on. 1405D. Read with me and laugh. We contracted temporary marriage, given a handful. Hold on. We cannot talk in the same time. Let me talk, man. Let me talk. We contracted temporary marriage, given a handful of tails of a flower as a dower during the lifetime of Allah Messenger, and then during the time of Abu Bakr until Umar forbid it. In the case of Umar, do you see it? The one who forbid it, it was Umar. The Muslim, they still practicing it until Umar ibn al-Khattab, which means Muhammad died.
Can you go to 1406?
My friend, is that hadith sahih or not? Is that Sahih Muslim or not?
Go to this hadith and let's.
I do not need to go anywhere. That's it. It's in front of you. The one who forbid it, it was Umar.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. So it's not Muhammad. Why you are lying to me saying Muhammad forbid it? Who is the prophet, Muhammad or Umar? Muhammad he died. Abu Bakr he died, and Umar now is the one who forbid the mut'a. Do you know why Umar he forbid the mut'a? Because they say they claim that Umar he slept with the women mut'a, and then he came after many years. He slept with a daughter of her, but he do not know that this is his daughter. This is why he forbid the mut'a. Now, what we see in front of us is a proof that you're a prophet. Hold on. What this is proving to us? The hadith in front of me, is it a lie?
It is good, but there is another.
Okay, no problem. It is good. So now, how you say to me? Explain to me. How you say? Hold on. If Muhammad forbid the mut'a as you claim, how Abu Bakr practiced it?
I will show you another hadith.
My friend, you are wasting my time. I'm asking you. If Muhammad he forbid the mut'a, why Muhammad died and Abu Bakr is still practicing mut'a, and then Umar al-Khattab he is the one who forbid the mut'a?
Can you go to hadith 25?
Don't go there anywhere. Explain to me this one first.
This hadith says, يا أيها الناس إني قد كنت أذنت لكم في الاستمتاع من النساء وإن الله.
Let's go. They have nothing to say. Muhammad did not forbid it. It's a big fat lie. Muhammad died and people practice mut'a. Muhammad, if you don't want to explain this hadith, don't talk to me. Explain the hadith in front of me.
Do you want a hadith that's for a real?
Explain the hadith for me here, and then you go to the hadith you want. No problem.
Which hadith?
The hadith where it says that we practice the mut'a during the lifetime of Muhammad until he died. And then we practice the mut'a until the life and during the lifetime of Abu Bakr until he died, and then until Umar he abrogated. Explain to us what happened. Muslim, they practice mut'a all the lifetime of Muhammad, never stop, never been forbidden. Muslim, they practice mut'a during the lifetime of Abu Bakr, never stop, never forbidden. And then in the time of Umar, the hadith here confirm that the one who abrogated this, it was Umar.
Why he forbid it? Why Umar forbid it?
It doesn't matter. That's mean everything is a lie in Islam. Who is Umar anyway? Umar is a prophet. Is Umar as a prophet? Do he have the right to abrogate the Quran? This is the Quran, because mut'a is in the Quran, chapter 4, verse 24.
No, he knew the prophet.
Do you agree? Do you agree that the mut'a is a chapter in the Quran? Yes or no?
The mut'a is allowed at the first, but after that it's abrogated, and it's
abrogated by what? By Umar.
By the hadith of Umar, hadith, authentic hadith.
Thank you very much. Umar is a prophet. How Umar can abrogate what Allah he ordered? If Allah said to you, you do mut'a. Who is Umar to abrogate mut'a? Who is your prophet, Umar or Muhammad?
Because Umar and Abu Bakr, he is alive with the prophet. And
what alive? What alive? It says, read with me. Read with me. We did practice mut'a during the life of Allah Messenger, which means all his life. When I say during the life, it's mean all the time he was with us, we practiced mut'a. And then we did practice the mut'a during the time of Abu Bakr. And then until Umar, he is the one who forbid it. So this is not an order from Allah. This is an order from Umar. Who is your prophet? What is the position of Umar in Islam? Is he the one who is allowed to abrogate the Quran?
This is why I tell you there is another hadith where Prophet himself, but you don't want to.
But my friend, but that hadith will be a contradiction to this one.
No, it's not a contradiction.
Okay, it is because here it says that the one who forbid it is Umar. You agree that the one who forbid this is Umar? Yes or no?
Yes, but before him, Prophet forbid it.
No, if he forbid it, there is no need for Umar to forbid it anymore. Because if he forbid it, Abu Bakr, he will practice that, and Umar will practice that.
No, you didn't understand. If Prophet forbid something and the people go against the Umar, he will remind the people to.
Okay, let me show you. Okay. Hold on. Let us laugh together, my friend. You are a funny person. Yeah. Let us go to you read the hadith for me, the one you are crying for. Go ahead, read it.
حدثنا محمد عن عبد الله بن نمير عبد العزيز بن عمر حدثني الربيع الجناني أن أباه حدثنا أنه كان مع رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم فقال who said this the prophet يا أيها الناس إني قد كنت أذنت لكم في الاستمتاع من النساء وإن الله قد حرم ذلك إلى يوم القيامة فمن كان عنده منهن شيء فليخلص سبيله ولا تأخذوا مما أتيتموهن شيئا. He said إن الله قد حرم ذلك إلى يوم القيامة. Who said this? The prophet.
And listen to this. Let me respond to you. Do you see the title of the hadith here? Do you see the title in the top?
Which?
Do you see the title of the hadith? Let me read for you in Arabic. باب نكاح المتعة وبيان أنه أبيح ثم نسخ ثم أبيح ثم نسخ واستقر تحريمه إلى يوم القيامة. Do you see that?
Yes.
Okay, واستقر. Okay, hold on. Okay. So you're a prophet. He forbid. Okay, hold on. You got yourself busted, my friend. You're a prophet. He allowed. Then he forbid it. Then he allowed it. Then he forbid it. So you are reading for me your prophet when he forbid it, but he allowed it again. And the proof of that. Listen. Your prophet is have a mental issue. How you say to them it's forbidden and then you practice it again? Who is the one who forbid it and allowed it again? Read with me. Who is the one who did that?
The prophet.
Okay, thank you very much. Guys, did you hear this? Okay, we reached an agreement. Muhammad, he allowed mut'a. Then Muhammad, he forbid the mut'a. Then hold on. Then Muhammad, he again. Hold on. Muhammad, he allowed the mut'a. Let me answer. Let me talk, my friend. We cannot talk in the same time. What's wrong with you? I will give you your time. Muhammad allowed the mut'a. Then Muhammad forbid the mut'a. Then Muhammad allowed the mut'a. Then Muhammad forbid the mut'a. Question: what's wrong with your prophet? Is he mentally ill? If he is the one who forbid the mut'a first time, he is the one who allowed the mut'a first time, then he forbid the mut'a. Why he need to permit it again?
If Muhammad loves mut'a, he will never forbid it.
My friend, he allowed mut'a first time. And then he forbid the. You just said that to me from the hadith you gave me. What's wrong with you? You are the one who quote the hadith for me. It says that the prophet he allowed mut'a and then he forbid mut'a and then he allowed mut'a and then he forbid mut'a. What was the problem? Why he allow it? Then he forbid it. Then he allow it. Then he forbid it. Explain to us.
Like I say to you, it is you cannot force people at the day at the.
My friend, you forbid it already. What's wrong with you, man? Go and take some medication. Drink camel urine. Already, he is the one who suggests the muta. What are you talking about? This is the you cannot forbid people from you. You can, and the proof he did. And he is the one who suggests the muta. It was not the Muslim practicing muta. It is Muhammad who told them what to do. Muhammad, he said to them, go and do muta. Don't call me, you're a kid. Let your dad call me. When I ask you why he allowed it, you say to me step by step, but this is not a step by step because they were not practicing that. It is his idea. Are you stupid or what? It is the idea of Muhammad to do muta, and then he make a Quran. Read with me this hadith and laugh. This is Sahih Muslim. Imran ibn Hussein said, should I not narrate to you the hadith today by which Allah will benefit you? Okay. He continues saying that Allah Messenger made some members of his family perform Umrah with the 10 days. All right. And look what happened here. And then within 10 days, Dhul Hajj, no verses revealed to abrogate that. The Muslim here, they are speaking that this is about the Hajj. But the fact, if you read with me, you will see that he is confirming that there is no verse came after that to abrogate the muta. And this is exactly what happened. The muta verse is in the Quran. If Allah is the one who permit the muta, why Allah don't send a verse to abrogate the muta? And why Allah he allowed the muta and then he forbid the muta? Especially if this is the idea of Muhammad. It is not the idea of the Muslims. Go ahead. Are you going to answer?
Why Muhammad forbid the muta at the end of the day of judgment?
Why he allow it first?
Why you see it is why you focus in allowed and you don't want to focus.
I want to focus in the start. How this is started? Is it true that your prophet, it was his idea? Nobody practicing muta. It was his idea. Yes or no?
Did adultery,
my friend, I'm asking you, was this an idea of Muhammad, or this is something the Muslim was practicing before Muhammad?
It's not just the Muslim who practices.
This is not the question. As you see here, the Muslims are coming to him. Muslim men coming to him. They said to him, Prophet, should we concentrate it? Should we stop having sex? Muhammad, he said, don't do that. Go, hold on. Read the hadith in front of you. It was the idea of Muhammad to go and find women and pay them for sex. The men, they did the order of Muhammad, not the opposite. It's not the men, they were doing that. And then Muhammad, he told them, okay, for now I will let you do it, but later I'm going to forbid it. No, they were not doing it. It was an idea from Muhammad. So as long as you admitted that this is adultery, why Muhammad is suggesting to his men to do adultery?
Because it is in the time of the war. The people.
Okay, thank you very much. So now, okay, hold on, guys. He said it's in the time of the war. Thank you. Okay. But Muhammad never stopped having war until he died.
Okay, why at the end of the hadith he say it is forbidden from here to the day of judgment? Why he didn't allow it?
My friend, why he allow it, then he forbid it, then he allow it, then he forbid it, then he allow it, then he forbid it? Because he is mentally ill. Otherwise, if it is bad from the beginning, why you allow it anyway? Did Musa say to his men, let us do? Did Musa say to his men, go and do muta? Did Jesus say to his disciple? Jesus, he said the opposite. You know, Jesus is the one, he said to them that it's better for you if you want to go and serve God, is not even to get close to sex, because if you get married, that will be a problem. You would have to take your wife with you. You have to take your family. That will take of your time. So go and teach and preach. Look what Muhammad is doing. His men is going with him in his mission to kill and to steal. Listen to this. Your prophet is giving a solution to his men. What is the solution and what is the problem? The problem is they are horny. Do you agree?
No.
What do you mean now? Read the hadith. Read the hadith.
Yes, at the time of the war.
Okay, okay, no problem. So now the men are horny. Muhammad's solution is what?
Yes.
What is the solution? Tell me the word.
What is your solution?
Okay, you are the one who said that muta is adultery. So the solution of Muhammad is to do adultery.
What is your solution?
It is you who said to me. It is you who said to me that the word muta is adultery. You are the one. Everybody heard you. Now, so Muhammad, his men, they came to him. Okay, Muhammad.
Give us your solution to this problem.
Not to do adultery. I mean, look at this guy. Look at this guy. What is the solution? What is the solution? He told them, okay, it's okay. You can hold yourself. Be a man. Are you a slave of your balls? You cannot hold yourself. You are in war. You are in war. You cannot stay in. You cannot stay in war. And by the way, how they are in war and there is women walking around in the street? What does that mean? Because they went to the women and they start talking to them and says, is it okay to take off your panty? What war is that? Have you ever seen a war? Have you ever heard of a war and there's women walking around you in the street and you come to them and you say, I want to have sex with you? What kind of war is that?
What is your solution? If the man,
my solution is to be decent. So you are saying to me that the solution is to do adultery. Thank you very much. That's what we are saying. According to Islam, the solution is adultery. So Islam is Islam. This is the solution. You are the one who said that. You are the one who's saying to me the solution was the muta. My solution, I told you my solution. Stay decent. Stay away from it. Can't you fast until you? If the problem is you away from your wife, how long you will be away from their wife? Those men, they go for a few days and come back. Why you cannot stay away from having sex with your wife for a few days?
This is not a practical solution. Why, if the people and the man doesn't control himself, what you do?
I just told you. I'm repeating myself. You are away from your house for a few days. Muhammad, he never went long. And this is, by the way, was in the beginning of Islam. So his attack for 1 day, 2 days, and they come back. They steal the money from the caravan and they come back to their base. Why a man, he cannot stay without doing mut'ah for a day or two or even a week, even a month? What will happen to him? Is that necessity? You will die? You will die? How a man he stays single then? What if a man he is single and he's 30 years old? So the solution is to do mut'ah? What is the difference between war or not war? Actually, in war you will be tired, you will be exhausted, you will not be thinking about anything. What about Muhammad saying to them, we are in war, pray to God. Focus in what we will do. So the solution, go and rent women for sex, and you are the one who admit that this is adultery. And not only that, he claimed that the one who gave him this order is Allah. And this is in chapter 4, verse number 24. What kind of God and what kind of religion this religion is? Let me show you this hadith. Read with me. This is Tafsir al-Razi. This is what? Tafsir al-Razi. Tafsir al-Quran. The same chapter we are reading about. It says here that the mut'ah was given to Muhammad in the verse of mut'ah. And you know Arabic and you read Arabic. Read carefully with me. Abdul Muhammad from Morocco. وتمتعنا بها ومات ولم ينهنا عنه ثم قال رجل برأيه ما شاء وأما أمير المؤمنين علي بن أبي طالب فقال فالشيعة يرون أنه عنه إباحة المتعة. So we did do the mut'ah and the Prophet died and he never forbid us from the mut'ah. Never. And Razi is not a Shia, he is a Muslim Sunni. And then you will see that the one who forbid it was Umar. Here he say that this is mentioned by Muhammad ibn Jubair and at-Tabari, etc. that Abu Talib, he said, لولا أن عمر نهى الناس عن المتعة ما زنى إلا شقي. If not Umar is the one who forbid the mut'ah, nobody will commit adultery, because simply mut'ah is adultery. Just do it in the legal way. This is why the Shia until now they practice the mut'ah, because there is nowhere to forbid the mut'ah. This is a lie. The Muslim Sunni, because they notice how bad this is, so they fabricated the stories that this is forbidden, and they follow their prophet Umar ibn al-Khattab, not their prophet Muhammad. All the books of Islamic Sunni confirm that the one who forbid the mut'ah, it was Umar ibn al-Khattab. It is not Muhammad. Read with me here a hadith. It says the following: وروى محمد بن علي المشهور بمحمد بن حنيفة أن علي رضي الله عنه مر بابن عباس وهو يفتي بجواز المتعة. That Ali, he walked by Ibn Abbas, and Ibn Abbas was permitting the mut'ah. And then he said that the Caliphate, Amir al-Mu'mineen, that Allah Messenger, he forbid it, and he forbid eating the dogs, sorry, the donkey, the wild donkeys, or not the wild donkeys, the donkeys who live home. And they say that this is what many they use as an excuse to say that the Prophet, he forbid it. But as you see, there's no proof of that. Muslim, they have different sources, goes against each other. One, he says to us, we did do mut'ah all the life of Muhammad, and Muhammad died and he never forbid us. The other one, he says, no, the Prophet, he did forbid the mut'ah. And then we discuss more, we find that the one who did that, it was Umar ibn al-Khattab. Ali, he practiced mut'ah, and Ali, he said clearly that if not Umar forbid the mut'ah, there's nobody will do adultery ever. Same time, if you go and read my books, Sex and Allah, you will find that the Muslim Sunni, they have many kind of mut'ah today, but they change the name. They have something, it's called zawaj friend. What is zawaj friend? What is zawaj friend? It's a girlfriend. You go and you hire a woman and you call her wife. You sleep with her in the hotel once a week. That is zawaj friend. If I go right now and search in Google for zawaj friend, hold on, let me do it in front of you live. Look how many, all of them, they are speaking about zawaj friend, zawaj al-misyar. There's tons of marriage in Islam. All of them, they are mut'ah. They change just the name. All what they did, they just changed the name of mut'ah. The Muslim now, they have something, it's called urfi. What is urfi? You take a woman, you go to a sheikh, and you sign a paper that she is your wife, but this paper is not legal and nobody agree with it, and there's nothing about it. You sleep with her, and you know, any time you go and she go, and that's it, nothing happened. There's something, it's called zawajul misyar. What is zawajul misyar? You are a person going to Las Vegas. Listen. Is it true? Is it true that you Muslim Sunni, you do zawajul misyar? Yes or no?
Yeah,
is that true? You do zawaj friend? Is it true that you do zawaj friend and zawajul misyar? Is it true?
Did the Prophet Muhammad? I want to show you one hadith.
My friend, you're wasting my time. Your prophet, he never forbid anything. Same time. Who is Muhammad to forbid what Allah he said? If Allah said you do mut'ah, why Allah he said mut'ah? Okay, as long the one who allowed mut'ah. Hold on. You see, I want you to answer this before you hang up. If Allah is the one who answered, who is the one who allowed the mut'ah? Why Allah, not himself, is the one who forbid the mut'ah? Answer.
Are you seeing Prophet Muhammad speak from himself or speak from Allah?
Yes, he speaks from himself, because you tell me Did Allah allow the mut'a? Yes or no? Did Allah allow the mut'a? Yes or no?
Allah allowed the mut'a.
Okay, thank you very much. Hold on. You are the one who said to me, mut'a is adultery. Remember, everybody. So Allah allow adultery. Okay, now Allah allow adultery. Where is the verse in the Quran? Allah forbidden al-mut'a.
Go to hadith from Prophet Muhammad.
Show me where your God. What about your God? What happened to your God? He's dead now. Your prophet, he's take over. Your God is the one who allowed the mut'a. Hold on. Your God, he allowed the mut'a. Why Allah don't make a verse to forbid the mut'a again?
Are you saying Prophet Muhammad?
I am saying that your Prophet Muhammad is fabricating religion and he is a liar. How he allowed the mut'a? How are you, Faris? Faris, Abdul, are you there? Are you going to talk, Abdul, or no? Okay, go. What kind of religion is it? If Allah allowed the mut'a and you agree that mut'a is adultery, and you say to me Islam is a step by step, but as you see, Muhammad, he allowed the mut'a, he forbid the mut'a, he allowed the mut'a, he forbid the mut'a, he play game. Hello?
No, it's just bad connection. Can you go to hadith? Search it.
My friend, let us not waste our time. Let us say your prophet, he forbid the mut'a. Okay. I will go with you. I will go with you because we are wasting our time. Okay, your prophet, he forbid. No. Let me get you busted from what you say. You are trying to say to me that your prophet, he forbid the mut'a. So why he forbid it twice and he allowed it twice?
Because in different contexts in the war you need.
Okay, so you are saying to me in Islam we can allow the mut'a again if we have the same problem, which is Muslims are horny and they want to have sex and there is no one around.
You know why? You know why?
Why?
Because the prophet. You know why? Why you cannot? Because the prophet himself said it is forbidden to the day of judgment.
Okay, but you see, but you are not answering. You are not answering. You are not answering. You are not answering.
You know what
why he allow it in the beginning? He is the one who suggests the mut'a. It was why he allow it. Why he is the one who told him.
It is forced by the condition at this time.
What condition? People they can survive with it. Is that food? Is that water? I mean, you are a man, you are away from your house for a few days. Do you need to have sex with a woman during that time? Is that necessarily
the
really?
Desire, my friend, is more than your
Abdul, you are a coward. You will not answer. I'm not going to repeat the same question each time you call me. That is a false excuse. A man, he can stay away from his house for a few days without sex. Why? Are you a mule? Are you a donkey? You are a human. If this is the scenario, there's millions of men now, they are in war, they are in the army, and there's no female around them. What they will do? They rent women for sex. This situation did not change. There is army everywhere. There's soldiers everywhere. And there is some of them that did not even see a woman for 6 months. So what will do? This is not a change. If that was a solution for that time, then should be solution for every time. Because this is the same problem. In the time of your prophet, people they go out for a few days. Why he cannot hold himself? And what about if the woman she get pregnant? What kind of what he's establishing here? Disaster. Because I will sleep with the women get pregnant, and I will say bye bye. I just want to have sex with you. Bye bye. We cannot compare. Muhammad is a person who promote nothing but adultery and fornication. There is no dignity for this man Muhammad. He is playing with God. He have no morality. Muhammad himself was doing mut'ah. Muhammad, he made a verse that any woman she want to do mut'a with him, she give herself.
Muhammad, he made a verse.
Mute YouTube, Sarah. Mute YouTube, Sarah.
Okay, I will.
All right. What do you think, Sarah, about what's happening?
What's going on? So,
what do you think about your prophet? He allowed a man, Muslim man, to rent you for 1 day or 2 days.
I wouldn't consider that renting. I would consider that, you know, doing things.
Doing what?
Doing things without doing it behind somebody's back or, you know, legally.
So, doing things legally. How you can do things legally? What is those things you do it legally? Explain to us. Is it sex?
Okay. Yeah. So, for example,
what make it legally? If a man he agree with you to sleep with you for 3 days and 3 nights, that is legally.
He's doing it not behind. Like,
not behind. Okay, so now, okay, people who go to Las Vegas and they go to a prostitution house, a pimp house, they are doing it not hiding, they are doing it legally. According to you, it's okay.
I mean, if both people agree.
Okay, so this is what prostitution is about. Prostitution is a woman, she agreed to open her panty, take her off her panty, a man agree he to pay, and you are saying to me, as long as we agree, there's no problem. Thank you very much. But this is prostitution.
No. Because if we're looking at it from the context of war, then no, it's not prostitution.
What context? What context? You are the one who just said as long doing it legally. Doing what? This is not marriage. This is a man. This is a man and a woman. They are having sex together, and you are saying all what we have now. That a man, he is doing it in public. He is not hiding it. It is public. It is legally.
You a question, right? Do you know how many people cheat on their wives?
Okay, so you are saying to me that hold on, guys, do you hear this? So she is saying, Sarah, she is saying that if a man he cheating his wife, okay, he can hire a woman, to have sex with her for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, and that supposedly will fix the problem. But this is still a cheating.
Let's talk about reality.
But this is cheating. You see, this is not reality. This is disgusting. This is filth. You are saying to me now, we make a cheating legal.
Okay, but most men cheat on their wives, have multiple girlfriends.
Listen, do your husband hire a woman to sleep with her? Did your husband hire a woman to sleep with her? Did your husband hire a woman to sleep with her? Sarah, be honest.
Their girlfriends.
Sarah, did your husband hire a woman to sleep with her?
That's not hiring. Okay.
What do you mean? What do you mean? He pay her? Is the contract based on time and money? Do the man have to pay her? Yes.
Listen.
No, you need to listen. Answer me. Does the muta contain a condition? The first condition is the time and the money. Yes or no? Is it true that you have to pay and you have to agree upon the time? Yes or no?
If a man and a woman want to have a temporary marriage, what's wrong with that?
Okay, and you have to pay her for that, correct?
If she doesn't want a dowry, she doesn't have to get a dowry.
No, this is a lie. I want you to go now and search for me where it says that the women in muta, she don't have to take money. If you can show me that, you are a hero. I will make you even an admin in my chat. What do you think? So you are lying. The women, she have to get paid. You are a liar. The husbands, they are cheating their wives. So you are saying to me that you Muslim women, that you're suffering from a big problem. All your men, they sleep around, and now we have to control the issue. So what we allow the Muslim man to hire a woman, a prostitute for 3 days. You allow that. You like that.
Do you know how many men cheat on their wives?
So?
And nobody says nothing.
Okay, those are bad people. So you are saying to them, you are saying you have no problem. You have no problem if you're guys. Listen to this. This woman, she is saying that her husband is sleeping around, and she prefer if her husband he hire a woman to sleep with her for 3 days better than he sleep around.
You're calling it hiring. But it's something that is moral. Why? Because he's not cheating.
This is hiring. What he want to do with her? Sex only. Sex and money.
At least they're more upfront than somebody cheating on you behind your back, and then you find out.
What he cheating on you? In Islam, a man, he can cheat on you in front of you. He can have 4 wives in front of you. He can have all of you together. He can have orgy sex. Islam, there's nothing is called a cheating. A man, he can have as many women as he want. He can marry 4 at the time, but there's no limit. In the same time, you just agreed that you have no problem if your husband, he hire a woman to have sex with her for 1 day or 2 days a stand, and that is legal for you.
You're calling it hiring, but that's not what
it is. Hiring. It is hiring because you have to pay her. You have to pay her. If we search, let me show you. Hold on. Sarah, let me call you in a second. Hold on. We don't want to waste our time. I'm going to search in front of you to the condition of muta, just to show you how Muslims are not truthful. Conditions of muta. Here we go. Conditions of muta. What is the conditions of muta? This is the 4 pillars of muta. There's 4 pillars of muta in Islam. What are they? Let us see. And this is the verse in the Quran which allowed the muta, chapter 4, verse number 24. All right. The first one, the formula. What is the formula? Since it's a contract, muta require declaration and acceptance, which mean the man and the women, they have to declare what they agree upon. Okay, this is number 1. Number 2, the persons. A man can conclude a contract of muta only with the Muslim, one of the people of the book. It is not principle to engage in temporary marriage when the unbeliever or an enemy of the household of the Prophet. You have to if only a Muslim woman. We are decent. We cannot if someone she is not a Muslim. No. She have to be a believer. She have to have a decent vagina, brother. Continue. This is number 2. Number 3, the time and the period. The mudda. Mudda mean time and period. Okay, so number 3, time and period of temporary marriage must be declared, or they have to make it in detail, in a manner which allowed no possibility of increase or decrease. That's it. So you say 3 days, 3 days. You say 1 day, 1 day. That's it. You say half hour, 1 hour. So when you say half hour and she agree and you agree, that's it. You cannot change that. Continue. This is number 3. What is number 4? Number 4 is the money. And here they call it dowry. That's false. There's no dowry here. The contract must mention the dower of known property, whether it is in cash or kind of whatever. You see it? And they have to make it clear. If both they agree in those 4 conditions, the muta is there. Sarah, she said that this is a solution because men, they are cheating with their wives. Muhammad was a cheater. Muhammad, he have 13 wives, yet they cheat. And this is a proof what you said, that marrying multiple wives in Islam is not a solution, because you just said to me, do you know how many men they are cheating their wives? Muslim men, they have 4 wives, yet they are cheating. And this is what you confirmed. So marrying many wives did not solve the problem. Marrying many wives did not solve the problem of cheating. And that means that Muslim men, they don't consider women as a woman they love. They want to sleep with more. And now we have the muta. So we can go right now. I go to downstairs, you know, like go to the in the street and find the women there. They say, you want to do muta? How much you charge? And this is supposedly a solution for cheating. How dare you to promote such an idea? You are agreeing that legal cheating in Islam is halal, illegal cheating in Islam is forbidden. In the same time, we show you that how Muhammad, he treat a man who cheat. A woman, she is married, she came to him. Muhammad, he told him maybe her husband is doing jihad. The man, he said to Muhammad, I did with her everything the man does except intercourse. Muhammad, he said to him, and you speak Arabic, Sarah? He said to him, well, this is lamam. Read with me. هذه الآية نزلت في رجل كان يسمى نبهان التمار كان له حانوت يبيع فيه تمرا. This is a verse came down in a man, his name is Nabhan al-Tammar. He used to have a store and he used to sell a palm date. And women, she came to him, فجاءته امرأة تشتري منه تمرا فقال لها, and he said to her, إن داخل الدكان هو ما هو خير من هذا. Get inside the store, there's better than this, which means the fruits. But the fact he wanted to get in so he can have sex with her. فلما دخلت راودها فأبت وانصرفت فندم نبهان. When she entered, he wanted to have intercourse with her and she refused, so she left. And look what he said. فأتى رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم وقال, and he came to the Allah Prophet, may Allah pray on him and salute him, saying, O Messenger of Allah, ما من شيء يصنعه الرجل إلا قد فعلته إلا الجماع. I did with this woman everything the man do with the women except intercourse. فقال Muhammad, he said, maybe her husband is doing jihad. So this verse came down. What is verse? This is a lemon. Don't worry, this is a small sin, small fault. So in Islam, it is not, there's no punishment. There's no punishment for a man. He take a married woman to his house, he take off her clothes, he touch her breast, he touch her vagina, he play with her, she play with him, she touch her private part. They do all kind of tricks in order to enjoy each other. But as long there's no intercourse, this is not adultery. This is a small fault. Okay, that's wonderful. And now we have a new trick. In Islam, you can go and hire a woman and you pay her money for 1 day or 2 days or 3 days so you can have sex. And this is better than, but Sarah, she said it's cheating, which means they are married women, but yet they can do hire a woman just for sex. This is what Islam is about. Be open-minded. Women is horny, a man is horny, and now the Muslim Sunni, they come with the new marriages. Zawaj friend marriage. What does that mean? They are not wife and husband, they are friends. Just have sex from time to time. Zawaj al-Misyar, a travel marriage. A guy who is going to study in New York, he will be there for a few weeks to study English, and he left his wife behind because she cannot carry her because she is big and not like the laptop. So what is the solution? Islam allow him to marry a woman temporarily, and this is Sunni now, not Shia. It's called the travel marriage. In the travel marriage, he make a contract with the woman. He said to her, I am a student here, I want to marry you for a few months so I will not commit adultery. Look at the excuse. She agree. They sleep together for a few months, and when the month is over, she's divorced. This is Islam. Did you hear me, Sarah?
I hear you.
Yeah. What do you want to say?
Well, I looked at the prophets of God, and most of them had polygamous relationships. So they had more than one wife. Abraham, Jacob, David, who else? Gideon, Samuel.
Did Abraham, his God, told him go and have another wife?
Also, Jesus did not, he did not abolish polygamy at all.
No, the polygamy is not in the Bible, lady. There is nowhere it says you can have many. Show me the verse where it says you can marry many wives. Go ahead.
Okay, so
don't tell me so. Don't tell me so. Show me the verses in the Bible says you can marry many wives. Go ahead.
I'm going to show you right now. I'm going to read it to you.
Okay.
So this is from alamanministries.com.
I don't care which. Give me the verse so we can read together and we can love.
Right. So Mark 12 from 19 to 25 says, in the New Testament, when the ungodly Sadducees came to catch Jesus in his words regarding the Levirate law, a woman getting married to her deceased husband rather than the man married or not, Jesus did not denounce or change the law of Levirate, which is polygamy.
Lady, don't read for me. Don't read for me an article. Give me what it says. What it says in the verse you are quoting for me to prove that the Bible agree with having many wives. Go ahead.
Okay, that's from Mark 12, 19 to 25.
Okay, read it for me. Where it says there, which verse it says that Jesus, he agreed that you can marry many women. Go ahead.
He didn't change the law, so it's in the Torah.
Lady, what law? There's no law. It says you can marry many women. What's wrong with you? Stop lying. Stop lying. Show me the verse. It says you can marry many women.
So when Jesus is talking about the one woman, he's talking about the woman in heaven.
Shut up. There they are asking him, a woman, her husband passed away. Then she get married again from the brother. Then he passed away. Then she get married again from the brother. It's not about a man marrying many women. What's wrong with you? No wonder Muhammad, he said, when Muslim women, they have half a brain. So Jesus, he said to them, you are wrong about that. He and she in heaven, they will not get married. What's wrong? What are you calling me?
It seems you have a lot of problems with marrying 4 wives. And I'm just wondering if that's a problem for you.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, do you not have a problem with your false god commanding people to kill babies in 1 Samuel chapter 15:3?
Did your God commit the order to kill babies too?
No, I'm asking you.
I'm asking you. Did your God? You see, you are changing topic. You are changing topic. Okay, hold on. Let me ask you. Did your God Allah order to kill babies? Yes or no?
Look, you're the one who is having a problem with
no,
this.
I don't have a problem with this, because if God commit, God take soul, God gives soul. Isn't it you who believe in the flood of Noah? Isn't it you who believe? Hold on. Isn't it you who believe in Sodom and Gomorrah? Isn't it you who believe in chapter 18, in the chapter 18, where the prophet of Al-Khadr, he slaughtered babies? Do you or you don't?
Look, I don't have a problem with God allowing babies to die, but I have a problem with your God commanding people to kill innocent babies.
Show me where it says, so we can laugh at you.
Do you condemn that?
Okay, let me ask you. Okay, hold on. I want everybody to laugh at you. Hold on. I want you to say, whoever believes in this is a sick and he's satanic. Say that.
Whoever says kill babies is evil.
What babies mean? What babies mean? How old they are?
Babies and children.
Okay. So there's a distinction. He is sick. Correct?
Yeah.
He is filthy. He's satanic. Okay. So now if we show, hold on. We will go to 1 Samuel. Okay. And then if I show you that from the Quran, are you willing to spit at your prophet?
You tell me your opinion about your God.
No, don't change the topic. I will tell you, and I will read for you. I will get you busted too. I will get you busted. Abdul, answer me. Don't change the topic. If I want you to condemn you are the one who said I will condemn. If don't you want me to answer you? Already you condemn. Let us laugh at you, and you will see in a second how you will change your mind. Hold on, guys, read with me carefully. In chapter 18, verse number 80. And remember, you are the one who said, if this is true, this is satanic. This is your book. This is a prophet Al-Khadr killing a little boy because he feared that when he grow up, he will be not good for his parents, and he might even leave Islam. Yes.
Hello, Christians. I want to show you the polygamy in the Bible. Do you want me to read it?
Okay, go ahead.
Exodus 21:10. If a man who has married a slave wife takes another wife for himself, he must not neglect the rights of the first wife to food, clothing, and sexual intimacy. Do you read it?
Yeah, and?
Yes, he have take another wife.
He took a slave girl as a wife, right?
Yes.
Okay, and it doesn't say to him like God, he says go and marry as many as you wish. Does it say that, or marry 2 or marry 3?
Do you have a problem with polygamy in the Bible or not?
There's no polygamy in the Bible. The Bible says it clearly that the bad ones is the one who multiply his wife.
Did Exodus 21?
My friend, the people who do that, they are doing bad, because this is against what God taught. God, he created Adam and Eve. Is that correct?
The Bible says
people they do that, but doesn't mean people they do that. Hold on, I'm answering you. People they do that doesn't mean that they are good people.
But the Bible doesn't condemn it.
They don't call it what?
The Bible says this is evil.
What?
The Bible clearly say if he take another wife, he must
no,
not
my
reduce
friend,
the food.
My friend, the Bible. If you go in the book of Genesis, you will see chapter 1, verse 27. You will see there it says that the man. Hold on. That the man he go and he leave his parents and he became one with his wife, one wife. So the two became one. This is what the Bible teach. People they start having slaves. I just showed you. I'm showing you. This is what the Bible teach. Anything else? This is people they are doing things. and this is a law.
No. Can you go to Exodus 21?
Abdul, you can go to Exodus 20 and 17 and you will see what it says about that. You can have only one wife. You are choosing only what you like. You are trying to give explanation for what you like.
No, he said in the New Living Translation, if a man who was married a slave wife takes another wife for himself, he must not use the right of the first wife. He didn't say you shouldn't have another wife.
This is what they are doing, and this is the law to organize what they were doing. But this is not what the God is saying to them, that you can have more wives.
But the Bible here, he didn't.
Let me ask you. Did the New Testament says it clearly you marry only one wife? Yes or no?
The same Bible says you can have another wife.
No, it doesn't say anywhere you can have many wives. Where it says that?
Take another wife.
Abdul, if you do that, this is people, they do that. They are going. You see, you are making differentiation between what God said to them and what people do. So when Solomon, when David, when the kings, they were, you see, your sister, she called me and she said that there is somebody he married more than 600 women. Is that correct?
This is another subject.
No, this is subject. Is it hundred of women or not? Still they are doing it, which means, okay, so did God say to him, go and have 600 women?
But is Solomon a prophet or not?
And
a prophet cannot do something in
you see, first of all, you know, when we go into the order of the law, we have to understand that in certain time even you can marry your sister. Is that correct?
You change it now.
I'm not changing topic. I'm just showing you how slow you are. So if there's if there is no law yet where you cannot have more than one woman, or you cannot even have sex with your sister, it means you can have sex with your sister. So during the time of Adam, there was no hold on. As long there's nothing is forbidden, it's mean you can do it. Do you agree?
Are you seeing David?
Abdul, as long the law did not come, people, they do their own decision. Do you agree?
No, the prophets didn't do something sin.
No, I'm asking you, did the sons of Adam have sex with their sisters?
Because
I will give you an example. I will give you an example just to show you how stupid you are. Abraham himself, he have second wife. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Is God is the one who said to him, go and have another wife?
Yes.
Where?
Because we have a principle that the prophets didn't
do. It was his wife. It was his wife. Shut up. It was his. No, shut up. It was his wife. She said to him, I cannot have kids. Go and have sex with a slave. Go and marry her. All right. So this is what people do. And there's a huge difference between what people do, because at that time it was not, there's nobody told them if it is lawful or not. So people, Abraham, shut up. You don't give me explanation. Jesus, he made it clear that a man, he married only one woman, and the book of Genesis, he made it clear too. But yet we see people, they do things for a reason. People, they do things for a reason, same as Abraham, he did. But you will notice that Abraham, he was not even happy with that. The same as David. So you are trying to say to me that because Allah says if you do that, you should not do that. That because people, they are abusing women. That's why Jesus said to them, it's been said to you that if you divorce your wife, you give her her book. I say to you, whoever divorces his wife. So people, they used to do things is unfair. As an example, the Jews, they even to use the law in their own way to stone women who commit adultery. Right? But Jesus, he said to them, the one of you who did not commit sin, or he is not, he's better than her, throw your first stone. So the Jews, they have a law, they go by the law, but yet they are abusing the law and they are using it for their own benefit. Same as we saw in the story of Abraham, the story of David, the story of Solomon. Abraham is the father of the prophet, yet he did the same mistake. He did marry a second wife. It was not God saying to him, go and marry.
The problem is
secondly, we are not talking about marrying 2 or 3 or 4. This is was not the topic. It was you Muslims who lied to us. No, it was not the topic. The topic is having temporarily a relationship. Temporarily. It's not even marriage in Islam. You are Muslims are a bunch of fake people.
I told you that
no. You said to me that in Islam, you said to me, you liar. You said to me in Islam we don't marry 4.
I didn't say that. You can marry 1, 2, and 3.
No, you said that. No, you said that. Everybody heard you. You said that. The law you are quoting for me is about the law you are quoting for me is not about multiplying. The Bible speaks clearly not to multiply the wives. You cannot multiply the wives. No. Listen.
Don't cheat it, you will laugh in yourself.
And this is not even about marriage in Islam. This is about having sexual relationship in for the purpose of muta, which means it's not even marriage.
My friend,
you see, if you go, let me show you. Let me get you busted. Let me get you busted. Everybody will laugh at you. The Bible say clearly. Hold on. I was putting up the verses. Hold on. Hold on, read with me. Neither shall he multiply wives to himself. Do you see it? Neither he shall multiply wives for himself. Do you see it? This is the Bible. Do you see what the Bible says?
The same Bible says.
No, not the same Bible. No, that's not that. You see that this is what people do. This is what people did.
No.
Read with me. This is the Bible in front of you. That he never shall multiply wives to himself. He never shall. Your Quran is saying the opposite, that you shall multiply. And not only that, the Quran starts with saying you go and if the Quran, hold on, the Quran, and even the Quran never say go and marry them. The Quran says go and if them, if 2 and 3 and 4, and you cannot satisfy them.
The Arabic dictionary is saying marry. Go check it.
That's a big fat lie. And here we go. Let us go back. You know what? I was going to go. I will give you a chance. When your prophet, he said that any man, any woman, they want to share 3 days, 3 nights. Is that marriage?
I challenge you to go to Hadith 33.
Abdul, is that a marriage? Any man, any woman, they want to share bed for 3 days, 3 nights. Is that marriage?
It's not marriage, but
is it marriage? Is it marriage? Is it marriage? 3 days, 3 nights. Is that marriage? No, it's not. So why your prophet saying you can have sex with a 3 nights, 3 days?
The same prophet after that he said it's forbidden to you.
Abdul, you just said everybody heard you saying that this is not marriage. Thank you very much. So based on what you can sleep with women for 3 nights?
Why you choose one hadith and you reject the other?
I am not rejecting any. This hadith is sahih. This is Sahih al-Bukhari, which means this is true. So and you said, I am not rejecting the other. The other one you are saying to me it's forbidden, right? Who cares? It's forbidden later, but now they are practicing this. And you said this is not marriage. So you're a prophet allowing Muslim women to open her legs for 3 nights. Do you agree?
After that, he forbidden that.
No problem. So you're a prophet in this moment. You're a prophet. He allowed your sister to take off her panty and to come to a man and say, take me and give me some money. So you admitted that you're a prophet is not even teaching marriage. You see, you quote for me. You quote for me about a law about a man he is marrying his slave as a second wife, and you forgot that even Abraham may do that. But because you are stupid, you forgot when there was no law. The law came. The law came and forbid them from marrying more women. And now you will see here that you admitted that your prophet is allowing women to give her vagina to a man without getting married. But he is the one who allowed it. Who cares if he forbid it or not? He allowed it twice. So you Muslim, shut up. You see? Guys, he admitted that this was not a marriage, never was a marriage, it was only sex.